Hello everyone. In this video I show how to make a hollow cuboctahedron. It's a double thickness cuboctahedron. You can make it from this small size with an edge count 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. You can make it bigger, but it starts to get a little unwieldy at the bigger sizes. Anyway, it's a good range of sizes that you can make. This is the cuboctahedron of edge count 14 with one of the square faces removed, so you can see inside. The build technique takes advantage of mathematism's amazing hollow diagonal cube. And the way that he does it is the way that we're going to start off. You start with just a square with 4 magnets. Then we're going to add 8 magnets to the outside of this square. Like that, so that it forms a kind of a bowl shape. Here it is from the side. Here it is from the bottom. Then we're going to add a magnet here and here. Then again here and here, for a total of 8 magnets to the outside. So it looks like that. Here it is from the side and from the bottom. Then we're going to press these 8 magnets around the outside down. So now you can see a little 3x3 square with a hollow middle on the top layer. Only now it has 2 layers. The bottom layer is here, the top layer is there. The very bottom looks like this. The next step is to add a magnet to the middle of that square on the top, and then make another square out of 4 magnets and add it to the center of the top, just like that. So now it has 3 layers. This top layer that we just added right here, the middle layer and the bottom layer. And the next thing we're going to do is to add 2 magnets. So here's again the bottom layer, the middle layer, and the top layer. We're going to add 2 magnets right here and here to the middle layer, and they'll eventually end up on the top layer. So now you can see the bottom layer here, the top layer there, and then we're going to add a magnet right into the hollow formed by those 4 magnets. So there's the new magnet in the middle layer, bottom layer, top layer. And we're going to do that the same thing all 4 sides. So you get something that looks like this. The top layer looks the same, actually, as the bottom layer. And it has 3 layers. Then the next step is to add magnets in a zigzag fashion around the outside. So we're just going to make this bigger and bigger until we get to the size that we want to build. So I'm starting with the top here, going down to the bottom layer, then wrapping around, coming back to the top, down to the bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. So now you've got the side view, top view, and bottom view. Then to finish off this layer, we're going to add a magnet to each gap. The magnet goes right in here, 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 and here. And then to complete the corners, we're going to, just like we did in the first step, add 2 magnets to the middle layer, and they'll eventually slide up to the top layer, and then add a magnet in the hole formed by those 4 magnets, like that. Do that to all 4 corners. Now you can see that the top and the bottom layer are identical at this stage, once you've added that extra layer around. Then you continue to add layers around the outside until you get this as big as you want it to be. So this time, as you can see, the beveled parts are on opposite sides. These 2 opposite sides are beveled on the underneath side. So there you go. But in either case, you're going to add a corner to one of those beveled sides, whether or not it's beveled on the top or beveled on the bottom. Okay, then continuing on, and you'll note that at this stage, the diagonals, there's no diagonal that ends at the middle, at the edge of the square. This diagonal ends just short of this edge. This diagonal doesn't complete the side symmetrically. So we're looking for a diagonal whose ending magnet ends up halfway between the 2 sides. And we'll get that at the next step. It also happens to be a step where the sides are beveled all in the same direction. All of them are beveled on the top side rather than the bottom side. But now you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 magnets along this diagonal, and the diagonal ends right at the center of this side of the square. This is a good starting point for the cuboctahedron. You can do it with 8 along here, you can do it with 6, you can do it with 4, 10, 12, etc. Any even number will work. Just depends on the size that you want. And in the written description you'll find a list of the different sizes you can build a cuboctahedron and the number of magnets required for each. So we're just completing this this layer. Okay, so in summary, you've got a diamond inscribed inside of this square, and the edge length of the diamond is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The top, the side, the bottom of this square slab look identical. Now what you do is to hollow this out. And we're going to just remove magnets starting from the middle, and I'm going to hollow out one layer of magnets, just the top layer, not the middle or the bottom layer. The top layer of magnets, all of those magnets that are inscribed inside of this diamond. Just like that. So you should be able to see now that I've removed just the top layer of magnets inside this diamond of edge length 8. Then the next step is to add a chain of magnets just outside the diamond. Here's the diamond. The next available location, we're going to put a chain of magnets. Like that. And the next step is to start adding layers here. This zigzag set of magnets right here will become a vertical wall. So there'll be 4 vertical walls coming up like that, and then there will be 4 angled walls coming off like this. So the first thing you do is to add the magnets to the vertical walls. You don't want to go outside this diamond. So in that case, this means 3 magnets right in the corner there. And then this is the top level of the diagonal. The next level down is this, ignoring these wall magnets. The next level down is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magnets. So what we're going to need to do now is to make a little double width, double strand to put here to add to this wall. And it'll need to be 6 magnets, namely the number of magnets not in this top level of the diagonal but in the lower level, ignoring these corner magnets, 6, and then 5 on the other side. So if we take, the easiest way to do it is to take, well, 6 magnets here, 5 here, and then this goes with the 5 making contact with that second row. Just like that. So you can see that I've just extended this double thickness wall by 1 layer. You do the same thing to the other four sides. Okay, so you can start to see these, well, it's a little bit hard to see what's happening. Let's put another layer on it. Do the straight walls first. And the curved or the angled walls second. Here's the top level of the angled wall. Here's the second level. It has 5 magnets on it. So we'll need double chains with 5 magnets on one side and 4 on the other side. Okay, proceeding on to the next level. Now at this point, I'll show you what this looks like. Now you can begin to see this is the angled wall coming out like that. Here's the other side of the angled wall. You're beginning to be able to see emerging. It's going to come up like that, like this. And at this point, you have to be careful to hold this wall in. It has a tendency to flop out, especially when you're adding magnets to the straight wall. So I put my thumb on the bottom here, my finger at the top, just to support this angled wall while I'm adding magnets. Then as I get to the other side, I'm going to hold the other wall so that it doesn't flop outward. Okay, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets here on the second level down. Means we'll need 4 magnets, a double chain with 4 and 3 on it. Turn it over, put the 3 in contact with the second level, and smash it on. Keeping some pressure this way. These walls are quite strong if you push them this way. These walls are quite weak if you push down that way. It tends to just smash in an instant. So trying to keep the pressure inward at the corners. This is the bottom of the cuboctahedron. Now we're going to make a top that looks just like this, except we're going to wind it with the opposite polarity. So in order to make that happen, the easiest thing that I've found to do is, since I use magnets that I pulled from a spool, I just use the other end of the chain off of the spool in order to build the top half, and I build it in exactly the same way, and when I'm done it'll have the opposite polarity. Okay, now we have the bottom of the cube, or of the cuboctahedron, and the top. And I'm going to now verify that we have the right number of layers. This whole cuboctahedron is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 layers. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers in the bottom and 7 layers in the top, which is identical except that the polarity is reversed. So 7 plus 7 does not add up to 15. So what we're going to do is to add the middle layer to the top, again using, the bottom, using the original end of the chain, supporting that corner. I think you might have been able to see that that corner flopped outward when I first put these magnets on here. Now I'm not going to go any further with this one. We're going to fill in the remaining magnets at the end. Okay, so now the bottom half of the cuboctahedron has one more layer on it. And it looks like this. And the top looks like this, with their polarities reversed. This one goes this way, this one goes this way, but with the opposite end of the chain, meaning that its actual polarity is counterclockwise. But when I turn this one over, counterclockwise becomes clockwise. And the top, the polarity of the top will now match the polarity of the bottom. So to show you how they mate together, I'm going to turn them both on their sides, and then simply bring them together. Just like that. So now what you have is a kind of a TIE fighter, as it were, and it doesn't quite look like a cuboctahedron yet, but have no fear, it will soon. So we're going to add, make sure we got the right polarity here. That's the wrong polarity because it doesn't stick, so let me reverse this over. Put 3 magnets in that little slot. Then I got 3 rows of 3 magnets. I'm going to put 2 magnets between these 2 rows and 2 magnets between these 2 rows. And then finally, I'm going to put 1 magnet in the corner between these 2 rows of 2. Just like that. Okay, there are the 4 corners. And now to finish off the shape, we just need to cut the edges off to make it look like a cuboctahedron. There's a lot of ways to do this, but I use a piece of wood that I've cut at an angle. at about a 30 degree angle from square. I'll put this on the side, see if you can see here from the camera's angle. I'm going to line up those extra, this is going to be the outside of, let me show you here. That'll be the outside surface of the face. So all these magnets here are going to get cut off with a card. So I'm going to line this face up with its base sitting on the wood. So if I can show you here with the camera. You can see now. And then I'm just going to slice off those extra magnets. So you can see now I got a perfect triangular face. I'm going to do that to all the other faces. There's all 4 of them on this side. We'll do the same thing on the 4 on the other side. And that is beautiful hollow cuboctahedron of edge length 8. Just double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cuboctahedron has 6 square faces, just like a cube, and 8 triangular faces, just like an octahedron.